Hey guys, welcome back to the Project Nourish podcast. We are your lovely host. I'm Megan Gump, a certified functional medicine practitioner as well as nutritional therapy practitioner and a licensed Restart instructor.
And I'm Casey Poe Campbell, nutritional therapy practitioner, licensed esthetician, and also a Restart instructor. We're here to bring you a podcast all about health, wellness, holistic nutrition, functional medicine, and non-toxic living. Now, if you have any questions or health or skincare concerns, you can work one-on-one with either one of us. You can find me, Casey, over on my website, caseypoe.com. I have a skincare consultation form over there that you fill out, and I will send you back some detailed recommendations, both product and nutrition-wise, that are going to make your skin glow. You can also find me on Instagram. Give me a follow over there at Real Talk Casey.
And you guys can find me, Megan Gump, over on my website, megangump.com. So I do work with clients one-on-one, just doing some different functional lab testing to investigate and discover your root cause factors for your health concerns and symptoms. So pretty cool. You can go check that out if you're interested. You can also go follow me on Instagram at megan.gump. I've got some little nuggets of there on information in terms of recipes and other nutritional tips that you guys can check out. So go give me a thumbs up.
Now, as a disclaimer, after you give Megan a thumbs up, things that we talk about and recommendations that we give on this podcast are not to treat or cure any disease. As NTPs, we want to help you discover and address underlying health symptoms using nutritional therapy and functional medicine. Also, in addition to the disclaimer, we love reviews on the iTunes. It really helps us to get more traction. And when you guys are sharing out the episodes, we so appreciate it. Take a screenshot, post it up in your Instagram stories. We will repost it, give you guys all the shout outs and love, but we just love all of that stuff. So thank you to those guys, to you guys who are doing that already. And those of you who are not, get your stuff together and start sharing.
Yeah, dude, we do appreciate it. And definitely, I think a lot of our podcasts, well, all of our podcasts have different nuggets of wisdom and knowledge that we are trying to share to the world. So yeah, I mean, by your reviews, we can get this podcast out there to more people so we can affect more people's lives and ultimately help more people in their journey of health. So thank you again for our fans and supporters.
Amen.
Yeah. I guess I should have said a click on Instagram, not a thumbs up.
It's
thumbs
okay.
Up is Facebook.
Yeah. I think it's actually a heart unless people are just follow. What is it when they follow you? They just it's
click follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rectangle. Hit that rectangle up, guys.
Yeah. Hit it.
Give me all the hearts.
Yeah. On all my photos. That's so funny. All right, Casey. So what kind of updates do we have from you today?
Well, I'm excited for this episode because it's been a while since it's just been the two of us, and we're going to do a little hodgepodge episode, which I'm kind of excited about because I feel like we haven't had a chance just to talk with us. So
yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, Casey and I were basically putting together what we wanted to talk about, and we started talking about these things, and it was like, let's just talk about all of them. They are great. Like, people need to know about these things. So we're going to keep it short and sweet, but we're just going to hit on some topics that we are interested in right now. Some things that we're learning about, some things that we're doing. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right. So I guess I don't really have any updates or anything, but I have been focusing more on sleep hygiene and just, trying to maximize the amount of sleep that we get. So for a really long time, I did not get enough sleep at all between, balancing everything and training and whatever. I was maybe getting 5 or 6 hours a night, and just it did not go so well. So definitely more of a focus on sleep and just sleep hygiene, waking up. So really trying to get into the habit of putting my phone in airplane mode at 8 o'clock at night and just being done with it, kind of pretending, okay, phone is it's done for the day, having it in airplane mode. And that way, you're not getting any notifications. So if you do happen to pick it up, then you're like, oh, okay, nothing happened or nothing's going on in the world. Also wearing the Raw Optic glasses that you told me about, Megan. Those things are super cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, it is so wild because, okay, if you guys don't know what Raw Optic glasses are, basically they block the blue light, the not blue light glasses, they block the blue light. So they're kind of like a reddish tint, because I went and got the, like the most blue light blocking ones. So you wear them before bedtime. And I went to go turn on the washing machine, and I was so pissed because I was like, this dang thing is already broken. Like, new house, it's already broken. It's not like lining up. I can't see what to select, but I had my glasses on and all the lights are blue and you couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So luckily, before I called the poor fella who is the warranty person, I just lifted up my glasses and realized that it was the Raw Optic glasses blocking that blue light.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I love those freaking glasses. So I try to put those things on at least an hour before I go to sleep. Sometimes I'm good at like 2, but if I hit an hour, I'm pretty stoked with myself. And yeah, guys, if you haven't heard of Raw Optics, they are awesome. I wish that they were sponsoring us, but we get no kickbacks from this. They're just a really great company. And so it makes a really big difference when you get your glasses from a company like Raw Optics versus a company that's just sold on Amazon. Like, oh, I'm going to save a couple bucks, get the $30 pair. Like, no, there's a huge difference in the lens. And Raw Optics is actually blocking blue and green rays. So it's more of the daytime spectrum lights, which is pretty cool. And basically the chemical, I guess, significance of what's going on internally when you put those blue light blocking glasses on is when, like, we're exposed to blue light all day long. Like, that is the daytime light. And so daytime light spectrum, I should say. And basically that's what keeps our cortisol high. That's what gives us energy, right, throughout the day. And so when you put on these blue light blocking glasses, you're blocking the blue rays that are in your home. So in terms of like your cell phone, your computer, your TV, all of those things that we're typically doing before bed, all those bad habits that we all pretty much have. And unless you've got it really dialed down and you're better than most, which is great. But a lot of people are watching a TV show, or they're on their phone, or people are catching up on work on their computer. That's just unfortunately what we're doing these days. So these blue light blocking glasses are great because you can only use so many apps to block the blue rays on your devices. So these basically block everything that your eyes would be in contact with. So you got to think about like your artificial lighting in your home, pretty much anything that would keep you those blue rays, keep your mitochondria stimulated and high. Your mitochondria stimulated, your cortisol high. So basically the blue ray blocking glasses blocks blue light. It allows cortisol levels to naturally come down and allows melatonin to naturally increase, which is our going to sleep hormone. Because melatonin is just the first thing that kicks off and basically signals to all the rest of the hormones that help us get to sleep and stay asleep. So
I have a really good analogy for what melatonin does. So if you imagine a 100-meter race, melatonin is the starting gun.
Oh my gosh, Casey, that's genius.
Right? I didn't come up with it. I'll talk about where I found it, but
okay, that's awesome. But yeah, guys, so just to kind of get into what's happening when you, like, the significance of why those blue light blocking glasses are so important before you go to bed. It's way more than just like, I look super dorky. It's actually really helping your body get prepared for sleep in terms of like what your hormones are doing. So they're awesome. But going back to the fact that, yes, you have to be mindful about when you have them on, everything looks different. I mean, you can still watch the TV and mess around on your phone and stuff, and like you can accomplish things, but in terms of like turning on a stove or like starting your washing machine, like, yeah, I mean, all the blue and green rays are blocked. So it's going to change things and what they look like. So sometimes I definitely have those moments where I have to lift up my glasses too, just to make sure I'm doing something right.
Yeah. So, I know oh gosh, we were trying to watch this one show. Oh, The Punisher. Sometimes we just get like stuck on these really stupid Netflix shows, and then you just have to like finish them up and just be done with it. But that show was like really dark, and I was trying to watch it with those glasses on, and I kept having to lift it up because I was like, I can't even see what's going on right now because it's so dark.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Alex watched that show and I just wasn't super into it. But I have to tell you guys, so we are watching a show right now called One Strange Rock. And it's a Netflix documentary series put on by National Geographic, and it is hosted by Will Smith. It is It is so freaking good. So it's basically like the storyline that they follow through is obviously about planet Earth and like how it was created and how life came to be. But it's really cool because it's from the perspective of 8 astronauts. And so they're basically talking all like, you know, scientific about how Earth was created with like gas and atoms and these, you know, dust particles and blah, blah, blah. And then how like a big comet basically hit us and that's where we got our water from. And then like, it's just really freaking cool because they talk about how like human life is literally like this like weird glitch and like how our brains started developing and basically how like the Earth can heal itself and all of these things. So that's a really good show if you guys want to get hooked on something that's good on Netflix.
And it's called One Strange Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
One Strange Rock on Netflix.
I put it in the show notes for us. Cute. We're also watching this cool one now that The Punisher is over. We're watching one. It's a PBS special about Sir Edmund Hillary, who was the first dude, him and a Sherpa named Tenzing Norgay. They climbed Mount Everest for the first time.
Ah, okay.
So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, Casey, I know that kind of going back to sleep hygiene, we were talking about the blue blockers. What else are you doing for sleep hygiene?
Oh, I'm also, and I'm not too far into it, I'm reading this really interesting book by a doctor named Matthew Walker. I believe he is a PhD in neuroscience, and he wrote a book called Why We Sleep. And it is absolutely just fascinating. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that is where I learned the tidbit about melatonin being the starting gun for our sleep. So it's just such a fascinating book. I would highly recommend listening to that episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to convince him to be on our show. But yeah, I've also been something in terms of waking up in the morning. We got a new alarm clock. So we were just using our phones, but, you know, always kept them in the bathroom, which is obviously not in our bedroom, but, you know, just kind of kept it out of the bedroom. But it was just like so abrupt. And I don't know, I found I was kind of like waking up grumpy and just out of it. So we got one of those alarm clocks that's a gentle awake alarm clock. So it has a very subtle light that just turns on as you were supposed to be waking up. So let's say you set your alarm for 6 o'clock. It starts going off at 5:50. And it'll start with like some very soft, just kind of soothing nature sounds. And then this light will come on as, you know, it gets closer to 6 o'clock. And then it just like straight up buzzes you after that. So, but you're awake by the time it comes on. You just kind of would lay there and you're like, oh, I appreciate these sounds of nature right now. But then it's cool because it also has some, and we haven't used them yet because this thing is complicated. And I don't know, because we're just, I guess, not used to actually like pushing buttons on an alarm versus like using an app. So we haven't been able to figure it out yet. There's ones that help you fall asleep. So it's more of like a red light. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to help you fall asleep with some soothing sounds.
Cool.
But we also leave just like the white noise on.
What is the name of the alarm clock?
You know, I don't know. I've meant to look before the episode, but we'll have to put it in the show notes. Yeah. We got it at Bed Bath & Beyond because we had a gift certificate.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Super fancy.
Yeah, it was on sale. So
do you feel like it's helping?
Yeah, you know, I feel like I'm much more rested when I wake up. I don't know, it's weird.
Interesting.
Like just not, I don't know, like, you know, when the alarm goes off and you just kind of startle awake and then you're like, oh, I'm so out of it. Like this, I guess, because you don't immediately wake up.
Yeah.
It kind of just like eases into your day.
Yeah. So. And you're wearing your blue blockers at night, which is helping too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. All the things.
All of the things. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, do you have any sleep hack tips outside of your blue light blockers? And
yeah, I mean, there's a company called Low Blue Lights, and they make some pretty cool gadgets and light bulbs and stuff for blocking blue lights at night too. So they have a little mini flashlight that I freaking love. But anyways, it's a little amber light flashlight. So basically, like after you go to bed, because I am definitely guilty of like, I go to the bathroom at least once a night. If I don't go to the bathroom at least once a night, I'm like, dang, I must have had a good day. Blood sugar was in check, like minimum stress. Like, what did I do? How can I replicate that? Because I just cannot figure this dang thing out where I do wake up and go to the bathroom at least once a night. So anyways, when I wake up, I have a little amber mini flashlight from Low Blue Lights. That way I don't have to like get up and turn on any lights or anything. I literally just set this next to my bed on my nightstand. And that way when I get up, I grab this and I flip it on. And so I'm not turning on any lights. So I'm not disrupting my cortisol levels or my melatonin. I'm not like awakening my mitochondria. I'm not throwing that off. And so it's basically, or awakening, I guess your mitochondria is always active, but you know what I mean? I'm not
I think that'd be a bad thing if it wasn't.
I'm not throwing in the disrupting harmful blue rays, from typical lights. So anyways, I love Low Blue Lights. They've got a lot of really cool products. They've got some amber nightstand light bulbs that we've also ordered. So we have like nightstands next to our bed and we replace them with these amber lights. So that's pretty cool because at night when we're reading a book or even like when we're getting ready for bed, I actually have these amber lights on our nightstand versus like any other light in the room or in the bathroom or anything. And so that's like what we're doing is we're kind of getting ready. Like we don't have any bright lights on. And then they also have night lights that I've actually put all throughout our house. So Alex is a midnight monster. He wakes up every single night, anywhere between like 10 and 11. And he literally gets up and goes to the kitchen and eats a snack. Like it's like been habit for him since he was like high school, middle school.
Okay.
His dad does it. Like his whole family kind of does it. It's this funny thing that they do.
They have like nighttime meetings by the fridge.
Dude, they would literally like all zombie and like meet in the kitchen and just like munch out on stuff. And then I'll go back to bed and sometimes like wouldn't even say a word to each other.
Oh my gosh,
the way
that's hilarious.
It's really funny. Like his dad does it, his sister does it, he does it. It's really funny. It's just something they've all always done. I'm sure they picked it up from their parents. But so anyways, Alex does it every single night. And so I've got these nightlight light bulbs they're actually night lights, like you plug into the wall, into the outlet, and I light like one up in the kitchen, one up in the hallway. So when he gets up, he's not turning on any lights because these night lights we flip on every single night, or I do before I go to bed. That way it like lights his path. And then when he's in the kitchen, it also lights up the kitchen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that way he's not throwing on any lights and messing up his cortisol levels. And, he's not messing with me either because I don't see anything, from the bedroom and the hallway or anything. So Low Blue Lights, I guess those are kind of like my hacking tips besides the raw optics that I like super love. I mean, obviously there's a lot of information out there on Jack Kruse. Jack Kruse, Kruse. He's super into like sunshine and sunlight therapy and basically like mitochondria support and basically anything that you can do to just kind of get more sunshine during the day so you can get better sleep at night. So he's amazing. If you guys haven't heard of him, which I'm sure a lot of our listeners already have, definitely check him out and a lot of his information out there in terms of like podcasts, YouTubes, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty much kind of what I do for sleep, basically. Try to not be on my screen at least 30 minutes to an hour before bed, cutting that stuff off and just chilling out. Someone else, another practitioner told me if you're like kind of restless before bed to do like 5 minutes of like body weight exercise, like push-ups or like squats or something. And it's amazing how like after 5 minutes, you're like, okay, I kind of want to go to bed now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just do like body weight stuff. But it's funny how it kind of
Dr. Ron gave us, who was in, I don't remember which episode number, but the chiropractor, he said his nighttime routine, he takes a shower and then does some foam rolling.
Yeah.
Before bed, just to kind of loosen everything up and get into that headspace of, okay, it's bedtime.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of information out there. I think you just got to find what works for you. Some people meditate, some people read, whatever that looks like.
Okay. So now we're in the morning. We've woken up. What are some of your morning routines?
Okay. So this is something that I just recently saw by Dr. Sands, and she came out with like a hormone reset like protocol. I'm sure if you go to her website, you can find it. And I forget her first name. It starts with a D. Gosh, it's just, I'm having brain fog. It's the end of the day, and this is just sometimes what happens to me. Anyways, I'll find it for you guys. I'll figure it out. But anyway, she basically kind of talks about like, starting your day with obviously a warm glass of lemon water. It's just really good for digestion. And it's like things that I know, but it's just things that I'm trying to get back into. Because I think, you hear about these things and you try them for so long and you're like, oh man, that really worked for me. It felt so great. But then life goes on and you learn about other things. You just kind of drop things off as you pick things up. So it's just like something super basic like lemon water in the morning. And I've been doing that for the last couple of days, and I feel really good. Like I notice a difference in the way that my digestion feels for the rest of the day and the way that my body feels. Like I just feel like, I don't know, my stomach just feels lighter. Like I don't feel as heavy after I start eating throughout the day. So I just do like warm lemon water with a little pinch of sea salt. If you wanted to do like a tablespoon or even less of apple cider vinegar, that's really good for digestion too. So I've been waking up and doing that as soon as I wake up. And then Jack Kruse's big thing is like right when you wake up, go outside and get some sunshine to basically expose your cells to natural sunlight, because that's basically going to connect your hormones with the circadian rhythm, which is, connecting with what time of day it is. And so that also ultimately helps with sleep. But so I've been drinking my water, and then I go outside and I go for a 30-minute walk. So I'm not doing like rigorous exercise. I'm not doing anything super crazy in the morning. I'm just walking, which has felt really good. And it's just like also spending time outside, breathing in fresh air. Like I've got this really cool abandoned neighborhood by my house where they couldn't build houses here in Harris County because it flooded. So it's all just like open area. I take the dogs, they run around. I just walk around that abandoned neighborhood for 30 minutes. And it's like, it's just a really nice way to start the day. So I've been doing this for a couple days now, and it feels really good. So that's like a good morning routine. And then basically what I've been trying to do is I come home and so it's either like right when I wake up or when I come home from walking, I just say 3 things out loud that I'm grateful for. And I'm trying to get better about like writing it down, because when you write it down, I've noticed the last 2 days I've actually written it down. Then it's like you start compiling these things that you're grateful for, and you can see it on paper, because you don't want to like, you can always, of course, repeat the same thing, but I try to switch it up. Just a different day, different mindset. And so even like Casey, that's why I asked you earlier, I was like, what is that daily journal that you're doing? Because it's something that I want to get better about doing. Like right when I wake up, it's, the warm lemon water, going on a walk, and then doing the journal, and then getting my day started. And it's just amazing, like my mindset and how I feel for the rest of the day. It's just my energy and like the positivity that I feel in myself. I mean, I guess it's harder to explain, but it's just made a really big difference for setting myself up for the rest of my day.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
Just how much that, that first hour of your day can really set up the rest of the day. So the journal that Megan had asked me about is called the 5-minute journal. And in this journal, it should take you, 5 minutes total, if even that long, to write in it. And so every day at the top, you fill in the date. Then there is some type of quote, or they also have weekly challenges. So it has, 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that will make the day awesome, and then some daily affirmations. And then in the evening, you write down 3 amazing things that happened today, as well as 1 thing you could do to make the day better. And so I've actually been using this journal. I think I'm on my 6th or 7th one now. So I've been using it since 2015, actually.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's totally cool I got rid of them all when we moved, but I had them up until that point. So it was kind of funny looking back at 2015 and just kind of seeing, like, oh, okay, here are the things that have changed. And it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
To see that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm going to order that, but I've just been like saying it, just the affirmations, the grateful affirmations.
Oh, yeah.
But I think writing it down, there's just something to it.
There is.
I'm going to get that. I'm going to get started. And I don't know, I guess I've really been struggling in the last like 2 years with my morning routine, because for the longest time, I was the type of person that woke up at 5 a.m. or like 4:30 and went to the gym at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that served me really well for a long time. And I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is I think that I'm not the only person that struggles with this. And so maybe someone out there that can kind of relate. And just, it's about figuring out what works for you. Because I was the person that woke up and I went to the gym at 5 a.m. and it worked really well for me for many, 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 many years. And then like 2017 hit, and I don't know what it was, but I kind of just got into this funk. It was really hard for me to wake up. I think I was having some adrenal stuff going on anyway. So then I was like, I should probably just honor my body and not like stress it out. So then I got out of that 5 a.m. morning routine, and like 6 months a year, I really like kind of dabbled into it and tried to get back into it. And I was like, man, I just don't feel good waking up and going to the gym that early, like getting it done. And some people can wake up that early and like, that's their preferred time to wake out, which is totally cool. It's just, it was weird for me because it was like, that was my system. That was my routine for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just didn't serve me anymore. So now I think my big thing is I've really been trying to figure out what works for me in terms of like when I can still get my exercise in without like pressuring myself or feeling stressed out because like, oh my gosh, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. and work out. Now my whole day is going to be thrown off because I'm going to have to work out later. It's just about getting into the swing of things that works for you. And I think like life is just constantly changing and evolving, and you're growing and you're learning things and your body's changing. So it's just really about accommodating what works for you. And so the morning routine that I've been doing, like the lemon water, the walking, it's been really nice. And then basically I've been lifting in the afternoon. So I got a barbell. So I'm really excited. I got a barbell and some plates from Rogue for Christmas, and we ordered a squat rack. So we have like an at-home gym. Long backstory behind that. I mean, we're just really not near any gyms, so it's more of a pain in the ass to drive anywhere to go work out during the day than anything else. So I just bit the bullet and spent a bunch of money to have an at-home gym, but it's been really nice because it's like I wake up and I do my routine, and then in the afternoon when I get done working, I can just walk into my garage and go hit some squats or do whatever I want to do. And that's been really nice for me, but it's weird because I've never been like an afternoon, like past 5 p.m. workout person. Like no way. Like, in my younger days in college, it was like 9 a.m. workouts. And then as I started kind of getting into my career, working like as a geologist and doing GIS stuff, it was like, okay, now I've got to get up. So I got to go to work. So like 5 a.m. was my time. And then it's just been evolving, so I think it's just kind of exciting because I've kind of found what works for me. And I think that that's the biggest thing is like trial and error and just figuring out what works, because it's not easy. And especially when you get into these ruts where it's like, why am I not waking up at 5 a.m.? Like, why don't I feel good? Like, why can't I just get my workout in? You got to step back and like ask yourself, like, what would work for me? Like, what could I change that would better suit like my body and my needs and what I'm feeling? So that's just something I've been struggling with for months and months and months now. And it's just nice because I feel like finally I'm figuring it out, because I think I was so resistant to the change of like not waking up and working out early. And now I'm like, it's okay, man. Just go mess around in the garage when you get off work for a little bit, like totally cool. And you just have to find that.
Yeah, definitely. And, you make such a good point about listening to your body and honoring your body, because I can remember so many times when I was really training for triathlons and I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get to the pool to work out before work, and then be so flippin' tired all day. And just, 6 cups of coffee later, and I'm not even exaggerating, just yawning all day and feeling like crap, when it's like, okay, I really just should have slept in until 6:30 or so, and I would have been so much better off that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, just listening. Yeah. And, also, I mean, I obviously did the 50K, so I was running a bunch, but I just have not felt like running at all. I'm just like, no, not really feeling it. So I've been doing some weights, but I've just been rock climbing a bunch, and that has been
fun. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great full body workout.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Yeah. And I think that's the other thing too, is like people, I'm speaking very personally, like I think a lot of people kind of can relate to this though, is, I think that we get into this mindset especially when we are really into working out and being athletic and being fit, you know, lifting, whatever it is that you like to do, whether you run, triathlete, you know, whatever it is. Like, I think that a lot of times we get into this mindset where it's like, man, I've got to like go hit the gym for an hour. I've got to get a really good workout in, like, or I've got to go for this hardcore run, or I've got to go like swim, or I've got to go cycle, or I mean, whatever that looks like. I think people really get into like, I have to do this for like an hour, and I've, you know, got to get a really good workout in for it to even count, you know? People have become so disconnect from like going rock climbing for an hour is a freaking great workout. And more than anything, I think you're having fun, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's such a great way. You know, I'm going to climb tonight with a girlfriend that I met at a rock climbing clinic. And it's just, it's such a great way to meet new people. It's great community. And like you said, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is like, you know, people that I think are, you know, like hardcore athletes are just more driven and kind of focused on like this more intense type of workout. Like when they go to a yoga class, that's like their recovery, you know, but it's really just also like getting into this habit of like pulling away from that kind of thing and not having to feel like you've got to put such a super stress on your body to feel like you've like worked out or like, you know, done what you got to do for the day. It's more just like being relaxed and chill and like just moving your body. So like getting out and walking more, you know, just getting out and doing more yoga, getting out and doing rock climbing, getting out and doing like all of these little things that I think people don't really do because they don't feel like it's good enough. And they feel like they have to do something more intense or hardcore. So that's also been like a really big thing for me to pull away from is like, okay, I don't have to like do CrossFit to still get in like a good movement for the day. So that's one thing that I've been really trying to talk to people about too is like, you don't have to be super hardcore. You don't have to be crazy. Like it's all about just movement, like getting away from your desk for 5 minutes when you're working in an office, you know, here and there throughout the day, going on a walk before work, going on a walk when you get home. Yeah. I mean, doing some
taking the stairs at your office.
Yeah, totally. All that kind of stuff. So it's just more about kind of like what we talked about with Brian, you know, the Simple Man Guide, like just putting the play back into things.
Yep.
So that's been a big thing because I was like 6 days a week. Like I was on a lifting program for, you know, years. And it's like, if I didn't do that, I wasn't working out good enough. And my mindset's just totally different now. And I think I think my body loves me for that too, though.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah. So it's been good, but yeah, that was kind of a spin on morning routine. I guess
yeah,
right? Taken away there.
I love how our conversations just kind of like all over.
Shiny thing.
Squirrel.
Yeah. It's okay. It's good. I mean, I hope people out there can kind of relate. So
I think they can.
For sure.
All right. So I know we might just have to do a new episode for this because you want to talk about mold.
Yeah.
And we also have an interesting tidbit about reading food labels and what those little numbers.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a different episode for that one.
Perfect.
So
yeah, guys, we'll cut this one short for you. Hopefully you guys can pull some good nuggets out of everything that we've chatted about today. And then we'll definitely do a follow-up in terms of mold because that's something that I'm dealing with very closely, not super personally, but very closely in my inner circle of friends. And it's, I think, definitely fresh on my brain, and I'd like to bring it up just to make sure, you know, people can start to get some information about it. And then, yeah, we definitely want to talk about numbers on our food labels and what they mean, that way you guys can be more aware of like what to look for and how to read that stuff. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Always reach out, projectnourishpodcast@gmail.com if you guys have questions. Casey and I are here, you know, definitely to answer questions, concerns, whatever you guys need, reach out. So here to help.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Take care.